All right, here we go. What you want to do here is throw forehands. Hands are good. Should be fine. Yeah. We are in Another Round Nashville.
Here we are. It's wild, man.
When's the first time you remember us talking? Because first time I remember was I was sitting at a restaurant in between rounds of USDGC, and you had already talked to Ben a little bit, I think.
It had to be October.
That's when USDGC is. But was that the genesis? Was that when you first started considering it?
I mean, I considered doing this and bringing something to the community probably 3 or so 4 months before.
Okay.
But then I sent that little typed in all my information on the website, sent it over, boom, September, and then talked to Ben, and then we hooked up in October, and the rest was history. I mean, now we're here. I mean, this is wild.
I think I told you that first time that we talked for like an hour and a half or something. The coolest part for me is I've seen this go from those conversations to what we experienced what is happening literally right now in the store so many times now that but it never gets old. Last night there were probably 70 people in here at one time.
It was amazing, and it's just alive. It's a real thing now. It's real. I can't believe it.
And the thing that I was telling your wife was, if this space doesn't exist, that moment last night's not happening. You know, there's no place for disc golfers to gather, have a drink, throwing tech discs, doing all this stuff. What's the process been like for you?
Well, I mean, I would say it's a lot of long hours.
Yeah.
A lot of conversations with you, Ben.
And obviously non-marketing speak. I mean, honestly, what has it been like?
So it's been up and down.
Yep.
Roller coaster. A lot of highs and lows. Getting everything set up, getting everything designed. It's awesome that you guys let us pretty much design every shop the way we want to design it, and this is my vision. Well, and you allowed it to happen.
You had a very clear picture in your mind, which it's why all these things are owned at 100% at the local level, because it has to feel like Nashville and it has to feel like your vision. It's your business. What's different? Because obviously people don't know. Full-time pharmacist. Have run businesses in that sphere before. What's the difference? I mean, obviously this is a passion project. What did it feel like?
Well, that's the thing. The hours that I spent in pharmacy, it does not equate to the same by any means, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're out here selling circle plastic things, so and letting the community have fun. Pharmacy is more of the life-saving, life-changing, everything like that.
Sure.
But we can bring a little bit of that into this space too.
Well, it's pure fun and joy. I mean, we were just out there at Kane a couple minutes ago. We make good choices.
Getting
and
soaked.
It's completely pouring rain. Just out in the middle of the course, and I'm serious. I felt it was so much fun. There are very few times in my life that I have not had fun playing disc golf, and that kind of feeling. That's what this whole thing is. These are places to foster that kind of joy. There's so many hard things going on.
And that's the exact same thing that we're trying to accomplish here, right? Where we all started. I started back in 2005, back in college, grabbed a couple beers, a couple discs, and just went out to the course, threw some rounds. It was the time of our lives. I mean, and then life happens. You kind of get hooked on everything else, kind of put it off to the side. And then
start a really hard career, maybe?
A few hours of a career, maybe.
Yeah.
Life, 2 girls now, 8 and 10. But then step back into the fold, and you make something great, man. It feels amazing to finally see everybody enjoying what we do, the vision we talked about, and putting it all together. But I'm still soaking it in, and I still don't believe it.
Yeah, right.
Just the last couple nights have been amazing. The community's loving us. I mean, I love them just as much. Their support.
Of course.
Without them, we couldn't do it. Without the support from the family.
One of the coolest things to me, and there's so many of the people that own these stores that have similar sentiments. where you've told me privately before, and so many others have told me, I'm not trying to get rich off of this.
No.
This is not some, this is not like a Amazon drop shipping empire. You're not trying to, buy yachts with this. This is because you love disc golf. If you're starting a business in disc golf, it's because you love it enough that you want to support it. And that was the whole thing with the conversations that we were having in the early days, was like, this community in Nashville is unbelievable and it needs something like this.
Yeah.
And, the last few days and the week or so before that, where people are starting to come in, the energy is like confirming all those conversations that we had in October.
Always.
And here we are in April, and like
you said, the clubs, Music City Disc Golf, Middle Tennessee Disc Golf Association, the club that I was president of down in Columbia.
Yep.
We all needed a place like this.
Yeah.
I felt like there was this little gap that,
Yep.
After rounds we sit in parking lots. We'll talk for hours in parking lots.
Yeah, exactly.
Talking about shots we missed, aces we could have had. Like, if I had done this, it would have been just that much better. But now we have a spot for it here in Nashville, and I mean, everybody's loving it. I'm loving them. The reception's been amazing. I could not have painted a prettier picture of like what everybody has wanted and where they step in and how they experience what we can bring in terms of disc golf into a shop.
Because it's more than just, at a base level, of course, it's people need Frisbees, we have Frisbees, whatever. That's the business side of it. But the sum is so much bigger than all the parts, because it is, it's like back in the day when I was a kid and I thought that I was going to be a skateboarder. You go into a skate shop and it's like, I don't need anything. I don't need any new wheels or bearings or whatever. But like, I want to be around it, and I want to be in a place where like everywhere else that I'm at, nobody's talking about skateboarding. I wanted to go talk about skateboarding. And like disc golf is that, I mean, people that are into disc golf, it's an intense community, and having a place like this is just, that's open 7 days a week, and that you can come in here and be as nerdy as you want to about Frisbees.
Let's call it that. In a nice way. We're pretty nerdy about Frisbees.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, I've got this one right here. I was just talking to Joey Tamale last night about it, and I'm sitting here staring at this. I've got more Frisbees than a human being should have, and I'm like, yeah, I have to have this.
Yeah, this is the one. Yeah. For some reason, this one feels like the one.
Exactly. Yeah. What are you excited about now that like the huge push of getting the place open is done? There's 1 million Frisbees in here. Tech disc setup's done. Bar, beer, all of it is done. What's the next like thing that you're stoked about?
Let's say the next little baby step is spending more time with the family.
Of course.
That's such a sacrifice.
Yeah.
2 little girls at home, the wife that's just endlessly just supportive and supporting us, giving us all the time in the world. We were up here at the shop, like I'd get home whenever they're asleep and then leave whenever they're asleep. But we know it's worth it. For the community like this, it's worth it.
And your wife and kid's face last night, the girl's face lighting up seeing it, because it's like, your wife was telling me like, so many times Ryan's told me, have I ever said, trust me on this, and failed on it? And
I was worried about what you guys were talking about.
No. She's wonderful. and it was a good conversation. And but for them to be able to see, like, I promise there's something that's coming that's cool and it's going to be worth it. But certainly some time to breathe, relax, getting a small business up off the ground is tough. Yep. But community-wise and disc golf-wise, I mean, just so much more of the same, supporting tournaments.
Yep,
and
absolutely. We'll bring more tournaments to the community. With 2 little girls, 8 and 10, I'm really hoping to bring more to the youth and more
Junior
to the girls
stuff. Heck yeah.
And women.
Yeah.
We're trying to support as much as we can. We've already donated a lot of different things out to the clubs and the rounds that are being held for them. But just supporting the community, just giving them a place to come hang out, spread the word about disc golf, grow the sport.
Yeah.
It's not about, like you said, it's not about just selling plastic. It's more of like giving somebody to come a space to come hang out.
That's right.
And then just,
grow the sport.
Get
literally.
a feel for those people that don't really know about the space,
Yeah.
and melding them with the people that are all in it. Like you're talking about the ones that, why do we need this one?
Exactly.
Crispy?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But just giving them a place to feel at home, feel accepted, and, you know, just pretty much a place for everybody.
Yeah.
And if they just so happen to want to throw some disc with us, come on, let's do it.
Heck yeah. Well, I couldn't be more proud of you. You obviously know that. We've told you that privately. But this is it's a level of execution that is not a guaranteed thing. You have to have a vision, and you have to work your butt off for something, and you've done a great job with it. And, you know, like I know that I'm biased. I know that I see this thing through the lens of, you know, of Another Round. But, like, Nashville's disc golf scene is forever different because of this. Like, and I really believe that because I've seen it in places like Salt Lake where things like an individual course in Salt Lake, Creekside is the biggest course in town. I think they had like 3 or 4 times more plays on their course in this last year that Salt Lake's been open.
It's wild.
It matters, you know.
Yeah.
And there's so much cool stuff that comes from it. There's so much philanthropic stuff and good things that can come out of these stores. And so I'm excited to see all of where this thing goes. And
I guess there's no limit, man.
you got it, buddy.
It's good chatting with you.
Yeah.